That's right. Welcome to the Couch Live here on WPSN99.com. It's the Dope and Dharma Show. I didn't even say it right. Dope and Dharma Show. I'm the street certified dope Dr. Louis Delgado. For 21 years, been doing the show, The Couch Live. It's the longest running show on addiction and recovery on the planet. And my co-host is the Dharma guy, Trinity Phillips. There he is, right there.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Looking like Santa Claus. What's up, brother?
That's it. Ho, ho,
Well, I thought you were way past that. Um, anyway, so we're here. It's a beautiful day, Trinity. I mean, it's a beautiful day. And I was up in Jacksonville yesterday with our good friends from Stepping Stone and Lakeview Health up at TPC watching the golf tournament. It's exactly, Trinity, it was exactly where I was when this whole thing got shut down. I was up there last year, and that's when we were told, everybody must go home and don't come out. Go to your room and don't come out until you're told. And that was exactly a year ago. And so it was weird. It's kind of surreal
ho.
being up there again, where last time we we were unsure about what was going on. We didn't know how, what's
Well,
this COVID thing and what's happening. Do I have it? Do you have it? I feel a little weird. And then here we are a year later, and we've just gone through so much. So it felt really surreal. So I wanted to bring on at least one of the guys. That is from up there. It's Stepping Stone up there, and that's Rex Taylor. He's been on the show before. Let's show Rex. What's up, Rex?
Hey guys, thanks for having me, and it was great to see you this week, Louis.
No, man. Thanks for having me up there. It's a beautiful place, man. I love Stepping Stone, and I love Lakeview. Both facilities are awesome. They're sister facilities. Obviously, they're connected, but they're amazing. I also asked Kevin Morse to come on, interventionist from what is it, Connecticut? I think he's where he's at, but he's in Daytona Beach, Trinity. I mean, I saw him in Jacksonville because Rex brought him into Jacksonville too. So he was there in Jacksonville, but then he went south to Daytona Beach, and we're waiting to hear from him. We hope he's okay. It's bike week right now. It's bike week. It's crazy. There's a lot of motorcycles. It's spring break and
is
bike
it
week.
bike week
So
right now? Yeah, I guess it is. I totally
brother, there's
forgot.
so much craziness in Daytona Beach right now. And then, I talked to Kevin, and he's like, I'll be at the beach. I'll try to log on. We're hoping he's
I
okay.
wonder how
We're
that's
hoping he's
how
safe.
they're doing that with COVID. I wonder what kind of social distancing we can expect from bike week.
Oh, yeah,
Eh,
because bikers socially
Yeah, they're
distance.
known for caring about
there's
that
got to be
stuff.
so much of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, first of all, I think it allows the outlaw bikers to cover their face and be comfortable. So there's probably people at Bike Week that never could come to Bike Week because they're worried about showing their face. So now they can go everywhere. The only bikers with face coverings on are the ones that are actually wanted. Uh, anyway, so yeah, it'd be different. I'll tell you this though, at TPC, people had their face coverings on.
Mhm.
I mean, even Governor DeSantis walked right behind us, and he had his face covering on. I mean, he didn't wear his mask right. I mean, he had his nose hanging out. Uh, Governor, you probably want to learn how to wear that mask properly, but
Did
that's
he
all
have
right.
two of them on?
I
Because
doubt that.
that's the new
I doubt that.
the new CDC thing is having two now.
I think it's anti-Republican to wear two. I think that's a rule. I think the GOP sent out a rule says if we see
Yeah.
you with two, you have to switch sides.
Right.
But anyway, that's our other show, Trinity. That's We the Middle show. We don't talk politics on the Couch Live. But so while we're waiting for Kevin, hey Rex. So the show today we wanted to talk about no chaos because
Yeah,
there's so much chaos. There's so much chaos when we're getting high, when hell before we're getting high, right? I mean, there's probably chaos in a lot of people's lives prior to even finding drugs and alcohol, which is sometimes what leads you to look for some sort of escape and find it, in the wrong places, right?
absolutely.
Or some sort of medication, finding it in the wrong places. So when you get in recovery and when your life starts changing, sometimes that no chaos can be misconstrued as boring. So we want to talk about it because I know my fear was when I get clean and sober, everything's going to suck. It's going to be boring. What am I going to do then? Go play putt putt? I mean, how's that going to make me excited? So we wanted to talk a little bit about that today because um, I think it's a serious concern, and we have viewpoints that we talk about on Dharma Time and on the Couch Live, and so now that we had you and hopefully Kevin on, we wanted to get your take on it. Like, what was life before? Was it chaotic? Did you thrive on that chaos? And what has it kind of been like since then? And did you adjust your expectations or something like that? So first, give us a little background. Like, what was life like before drugs and alcohol for you?
Before drugs and alcohol, there was a lot of chaos. I grew up military, so every 18 months to 2 years, Dad would come home one day and say, "All right, pack everything up, we're moving." And I remember living in Germany when I was young, and he came home and he said, "We're moving to Colorado, and we've got to be packed up in 2 weeks." And I didn't even know where Colorado was on the map. I just knew we were going
Army?
to the stateside.
Were you Army?
And so
Was
yeah,
you Army?
Army. Yep.
Fort Carson?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
And
I
then Fort Hood after that.
I
Fort
lived in
Hood in
both those
Texas
places.
after that.
I lived in Fort Carson and Fort Hood.
There you go. Yeah, we were in Killeen.
Yeah, Killeen. That's where it all
So
started. That's where my chaos started.
yeah. Well,
What year were you in Fort Carson?
Oh man, Carson would have been 90, 91.
Oh well, I just left. I left there.
Really?
Oh, you were there when it was closing. I was like closed when you went there. It was like empty.
We left shortly, or as everything was closing out. That's when he got shipped and got his orders to Fort Hood. We left Germany. He was stationed in Darmstadt. So actually, it was 89 when we left Germany because the wall was just coming down.
There you go. Yeah, I did all those, man. I was in Pattonville in Germany,
okay.
and we went from Pattonville to Fort Hood, and then from Fort Hood, that's when we hit Fort Carson. So I did a little bit of the same trio, man.
Same loop, just different order.
Same loop, different order, man. Different years because I'm a little bit older.
Yeah, I never lived in any of them.
Never lived in any of it.
But yeah, I mean, as a kid, that's chaotic. Dad comes home and it's like, all right, these are the orders, and you've got 2 weeks to have your whole life packed up. And military moves. It may be 3 months before you ever actually see your stuff, if you see all of it when it shows up to the next house.
Yeah, right.
So there was a lot of chaos and a lot of discomfort built in that. And then when we finally settled, we moved back to Denver early in middle school. And I had understand and formed this innate ability to make quick friends because I had to adapt to my new surroundings. What I didn't know how to establish was lasting relationships, like true friendships.
Right.
So when I got there, it was like the only thing I knew how to do was find one crowd that really didn't care who I was, but let me in. And that was the wrong crowd. And so I linked up with them at an early age. And yeah, from there, the chaos just ensued. I started, I smoked my first joint and drank my first beer and smoked cigarettes at 12, and it escalated and compounded and got worse and worse. And yeah, there was an aspect to it where I thrived in it. The chaos was comfort. It was comfortable for the wheels to be falling off, at any given time. And I operated like that for the next 2 decades. So yeah, just like you said, coming into it, I'm going in, I'm getting sober, and I'm like, the hell do I do without drugs and alcohol? Like, how do I function? I don't know how to live without utter chaos, at every turn. But the thing that I've found is like, I am so grateful for those boring times, if that's what we want to call it. Like the times where I'm not stressed and I'm enjoying the moment. I get the opportunity to be present for right here and right now. And I'm not thinking about what happened 2 hours ago, and I'm not sweating what's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm not worried about who's coming up behind my back or anything like that. Like I truly get to experience life today. And it's in those moments where there's nothing going on that I think we really find how we live. I mean, for me personally, I think that's the definition of what this life is about. If we want to find this grand idea of why are we here, I think we're here to actually enjoy while we're here, to find the things about this world that we truly, love and enjoy. And for me, it's family, it's friends, it's going out playing putt-putt and remembering it the next morning and not waking up to my wife and wondering, what did I say to her? Because I can feel the daggers in my back.
Right. And it's also not getting trouble at putt-putt for driving balls into oncoming traffic.
Yes.
but instead just playing the game. So that's part of sober putt putt as well. So first of all, and by the way, I like that Perry's watching on Facebook Live. That's one of the ways you can join us. By the way, here on the Couch Live, is you could be watching on Facebook Live while we do the show, and you can always partake in the conversation if you want to. You can make your comments, and you can interact with those that are watching it on Facebook Live as well, or with us directly. And Perry, before you even say it, no, we did not send out a memo of how to. There was not a dress code that was sent out. We just all happen to be wearing the same colors, or at least similar colors. It's kind of odd. It's kind of weird, but kind of goes. I like it.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to see
so
if old boy got the memo if when he joins.
maybe that's why he's not joining. Maybe
He's
he went to
scrambling
the
for a blue
store.
shirt.
He's
So
scrambling
yeah,
for the shirt.
Oh, there
Yeah,
he is right now.
is he really? Let's see
Yeah,
what he's wearing.
speaking of devils, let's see
We'll
what
only
he's
let
got
him in
on.
if he's wearing the right attire.
You know what? Actually,
No, don't tell me. Oh, he's got blue on too.
that's awesome.
What's up, Kevin?
Oh, it's bluish, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
close
funny.
enough.
That's funny.
He's gonna have horrible service. He's over there at Daytona Beach. So let's bring in Kevin Morse. Kevin, how you doing from LIFTT Confidential? What's happening, brother? See, he's gonna have a horrible service.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
He's
in and
gonna
out the whole
sit there
time.
frozen with that face on the whole time.
Yeah,
I love it.
that's funny.
Anyway, we'll just continue, and as he, if he's able to get that signal and partake in the discussion, he is. Let's continue with Rex while we're waiting, though. So Rex, I agree, man. I think that first of all, everybody grows up differently, right? And so like when you're sharing about the way you were raised and calling it chaos, I mean, I remember that. Only I think I embraced it a little bit differently. Were you always a military brat, like from birth, or did you become one while you were in?
Uh, I was about 3 when my dad got into the military. So I mean, it was pretty much all I knew was the military life growing up.
Okay, yeah, I was born when I was born as the welcome home from Vietnam, for my dad. So it's the only thing I knew. But we used to get really excited about the next location of where we were going to live. You know what I mean? I mean, especially when we found out we were going to Texas because the family's from El Paso. So it was really cool to be within driving distance of being able to see our family and stuff like that. And so that was pretty cool. But um, I don't know if I would call it chaotic. What is chaotic to me though? My chaos felt like it started like when we got off base. Because I didn't know what to expect in real world. And like you lived in Killeen, I lived in Killeen. So we were first in Fort Hood, and then my first introduction to regular people outside of the military, other than family, was Killeen. We moved off, lived on Ruiz Street right there in Killeen. Went to Peebles Elementary,
Okay.
right there. And it was I mean that's when it just went haywire for me. It went crazy. I met people that were very different, the people that their parents were not military. They didn't have the same concerns that we did. They didn't have the same conversations that our families did. They didn't have the same understanding of the world that we did. Plus, for the first time ever, everyone knew each other from like years. Like they grew up together. I've never, up to that point, I didn't know anyone that I grew up with because it was always new friends. I was always the new kid. Uh, and so, just like when you said you started using to because that's the crowd. For me, I was the bad influence because it seems like they were all just I
You
don't know. They
still
all
are.
had all this stuff. Well, yeah, I guess they all had stuff available to them, but nobody was touching it. And for me, I was looking at it off the first time. I go, no, 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 no. So those things you smoke, those things you drink that, and you hang out. And they're like, oh, we can't do that. I was like, oh, hell no, yes, you can. You know what I mean? And so it got really bad from there. So that's when the chaos started. Is actually when we moved off base, and Killeen was my first real chaos started. Right there in Killeen. Kevin, are you with us yet, man? Can you hear us?
I'm here. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I can hear you
Yeah,
just
we
fine.
can hear you now. Good.
Oh, we hear you. Look at him with his
So I'm not on
TPC
the
hat on, by the
beach.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up there at the golf tournament too. Right on. So
Yeah.
where you at?
Hashtag Bike Week. I'm actually right smack in the middle of Bike Week. I'm just a couple blocks, I guess, north of Main Street,
Yep.
off of Atlantic, where all the chaos goes down. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm gonna be on the beach all day. I tried to do it on the beach, but wasn't gonna work
Didn't
out.
work. Were you
So
driving on the
no,
beach or were you walking when you tried to log on?
no, I just was stationary. I just was sitting.
Oh, okay.
It just was like, I don't know. For some reason, my service has been weird the whole time I've been down here. So
Right.
thanks,
Yeah, but
T-Mobile.
Daytona's a little. Yeah. Well, it's a little hit and miss down there, and there's a lot of people
Yeah,
using it,
yeah.
man. I mean, because every single person there is doing something on their phone. I mean, because it's not just bike week; it's bike week. It's spring break. My daughter's out there.
Oh,
I told
Yeah.
you,
right,
man.
right,
We should
right, right,
we
right,
should
right.
hunt her down while she's out there, so I can see if she's doing all right. Because you are the man on the street. So,
You want me to
so
spy?
yeah. Oh, I love spying, man. Yeah, yeah. You're allowed to do whatever. So, so we're talking a little bit about chaos today, Kevin. You know what I mean? Because there's no, what we like to say is the chaos that we experience. The quality of our problems in sobriety is so different, right? The quality of my problems, like right now,
Right.
I complain about the most just ridiculous things now that bother me in my life compared to the chaos that's happening when you're before you're using or when you're using and when you're in early recovery and all that stuff that happens. And my biggest concern when I got clean and sober was, is it going to be fun? Am I going to have a good time in sobriety? Is life going to be good? Even though life was really crappy the way it was, I still enjoyed the excitement part of it. I mean, there was a part of my sickness that enjoyed the chaos. And so we're talking a little bit about having no chaos. And is it boring or is that just life?
Yeah, I mean, I, for one, the boredom word has got to go. I can't.
Right.
This word is not in my
I hate that
vocabulary.
word.
It hasn't
Me
been
neither.
in years. To me, it's such a mindset. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but early on in recovery, that's what we hear, right? We're bored. We got too much time on our hands, and I mean, there's so much that I can do as an adult.
Right.
Just so many things. Read a book. But it took me time to get to that place. So I think the chaos, because there's a weird comfortability that you live in when you're active, right? And
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
clean up, and some people there's still chaos, for some time, But I think it's just like unknown territory. So people just, I don't know, they react uncomfortably, or they don't understand it. But this is a common theme that I hear about all the time. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's not understanding the chaos, but people they hit like a crossroads, I guess,
Right.
at some point in their process where,
Right.
I guess the finding fun in different ways. Because I was the
Right.
same way, man. I thought I couldn't do it. At least I got to smoke a joint, or
Right.
something,
Yeah.
something to get through the day and
Well,
have
that's
some
why
fun.
that's why I didn't want
So
to give
yeah,
up cigarettes. I mean, initially I didn't want to give up nicotine because I was like, well, shit, I gave up everything, man. Give me something, and as addictive as nicotine is, but it's as a drug, as a getting high drug, it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just pure addiction. You know what I mean? So
right, right.
but it was hard to give up, even though it had no high attached to it. It was just I still got to behave a little badly. You know what I mean? I still got to do something just a little bit off. It was just really hard to give up. And I agree with you on that boredom word, man, because um, I don't use it today, but I did use it a lot back then. It was a big fear of mine. You know what I mean? I think I was afraid of
Yeah.
boredom more than I was afraid of the law, to be honest with you.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it. I
Well,
believe it.
so what I
I
think is
mean, that's
interesting.
boredom. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying what I think is interesting that Rex was saying earlier. I made sure I wrote it down. I was going to do the Darien thing, but I didn't want to forget. No, what I thought was interesting was he said something about how he enjoyed it and he thrived with it. And I can relate. Obviously, I don't relate on the addiction side of it, but I do relate in the whole. Uh, I've had to realize, as throughout my life, I've always thought that I enjoyed the pressure, right, the intensity of trying to like, oh God, I gotta get everything done now, like, and I felt that I operated better that way. And what I
Yeah,
realized as I've gotten older is, no, I just adapted pretty quickly. But if I'm honest, I don't really enjoy it. I'm good at it and I can get it done, but I actually enjoy the lull. I enjoy of having the time and the the peace of mind of like, yeah, okay, I can work on that a little bit now. The pressure of, oh God, I got to get it done right now, and I got to do this and all these other things. I don't think I really like that. So I think I confused my ability to adapt with my actual enjoyment, and I think a lot of people do that.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to go to Rex first on this then. So that lull. So when there's no chaos, what like that could be a little scary for some people, and they need to fill it with time. They need to fill it with something. So like when you're standing still, I'm gonna look at the no chaos like still times, the lull that you were talking about. Nothing. Rex, did you struggle at all with having to fill up every little moment of your day, or even maybe even still? Did you ever or do you struggle with that part of it now?
Absolutely. And I think it's something that I still struggle with. While I enjoy that time where I can just kind of sit and be. Um, there's still a part of me that has that drive to continue to be doing something all the time. Um, I'm absolutely guilty of, especially with my work,
All right.
really, diving into work, and work kind of fills that gap sometimes. And thankfully my wife has a very sound head on her shoulders, and she reels me in a lot of times, and it's like, just put the phone down, you know, just be here with us, and let's just enjoy it. So yeah, I think it's a work in progress, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for everybody. I don't know if that's for just us as addicts or whatever, but I think there's a degree of human nature that, in society today, we're such a fast paced
Right.
society, and we've always got something going on. I think that's just a human struggle.
Yeah. I think it's an everybody thing. I just think that with addicts, we know that there's something out there that can really just like zing it real quick. So that's the biggest difference. What about you, Kevin? That lull time. Do you find yourself having to do a little bit of something in between, or are you able to just sit still?
Yeah, I mean, today, it's been 12 years, so today it's a little bit different. And looking back, I found recovery a little bit different, like a lot of people through incarceration. So my first 4 months of sobriety, I was incarcerated. So, the you don't complain, like a lot of these things, I was it was good for me. Like I needed that. So, in the beginning, I felt that I didn't want lull time. I didn't want downtime. So I was, a 28-year-old dad. I'm at the skate park in the morning. I got a parole bracelet on. I was jogging. I never jogged in my life, and I ain't jogging today. But I was doing all volunteering, because I was afraid of that boredom. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
afraid of that lull.
Yeah.
Today, because of the work that I do, and so much stuff, that I just have a different outlook. Like my outlook is like, I'm 35 years old. I got 4 children, and 10 years of my life was just kind of like a blur. So
Mm.
I'm okay with like, the whole sleep thing. Like I have a weird outlook on like sleep today. Like, I think it's useless outside of your body needs it, right? But these are hours in our day that we could be using to be successful, and there's so many opportunities and things that you can do. So I'm always on the go. But am I able to, in between all that, do an intervention successfully, and then, an escort, and then sleep
Yeah.
that night? Absolutely. I don't lose any sleep. Thank God today. Um, you know,
You're
uh,
you're a young
so
man,
yeah, I
Kevin.
mean,
That
it's
you're
weird.
you're gonna you're gonna come
Right,
to look
right,
at
right.
sleep a lot different as you get older.
Yeah.
Man, I cherish
Well, that's what
I
I'm
cherish
saying.
that nap
Today,
time, brother.
yeah. No, today, like I said, maybe the next 5 years, I don't know. I should be doing nothing but, hustling and trying to grow, and that's it. Bottom line, like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's definitely something, man. So David Knight put up something. Trinity, can
Yeah.
you put that up there? See what
Yep.
David Knight said on Facebook Live.
Yeah, he said chaotic lifestyles are predictable, which ironically is safe. The calm opens up the idea to hope, and that's a lot scarier to folks who never really experienced the good of life.
Mm.
Leaves you wondering. That's what I
Yeah.
got. So are we safer wondering what could be, or just moving and being in it? You know what I mean? I like
the
that.
embracing it part was always tough, for me. Learning to embrace the calm. You know what song rings true to me, and tell me if you guys can relate to this. And the original song didn't do it for me, but when Disturbed did it, it hit me. The sound
I know
of
what you're talking
silence.
about. Sound of Silence.
When Disturbed did their rendition of the Sound of Silence, it freaking went into my soul, man. I mean, it sounded like he truly understood how afraid silence could make me, and how silence has so much within it. There's so much said within silence. There's so many things within silence. There's so much pain within silence, but there's also so much resolution within silence. So whatever that song means to you when you listen to it, let that song take you real deep. That's my encouragement to let anyone, because I think music is therapy. I love music. So, but if you let that song just kind of go inside and find what it finds, because the song is not supposed to say the same thing to you as it says to me. It's supposed to say whatever it can find within you and bring it out. That's all that it's for. And so, but I like what that song did for me, because it really brought some light to how scary silence used to be for me, and then how healing it is now that I can appreciate silence.
I really like that, Louis, and it makes me think to back when I embraced the chaos, when I was wrapped up in the chaos and wrapped up in that type of hustle. I never had a moment to be alone with me. Right? It was another coping mechanism, just like the drugs and the alcohol war. It was a way to shut the hamster down for a little bit. It was a way to not have that internal conversation and not look at me. So today, when the lull does come, I'm comfortable enough with who I am today and how far I've come in this and where I'm at in my recovery that I'm okay to sit with me. So I think, no matter how and Kevin, I respect your hustle, man. And I feel the same way. And Louis, I know you might like sleep a little bit more than we do, but I know how passionate you are about what you do. And same for you, Trinity. I think what we do today and the line of work that we're in is so far exceeds a job, right?
Yeah.
This is a lifestyle. This is a calling. This is something that, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I finally am doing what I was put here to do.
Right.
So even when it is hectic and it's go, 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 I'm okay when it settles down, because now I'm okay with me.
Yeah, you know what I think it proves, Rex? That's very good points. I think what it proves is that post-traumatic stress disorder, because I think there's no way to be a recovering addict without having post-traumatic stress disorder, because that was freaking traumatic, man. going through addiction and everything it brings is traumatic as hell. And so when you come out of that, we are so prepared to be able to deal with other people's trauma and stress to the point where we actually not only thrive in it, but we actually can manage through it and help another person, because we don't we can understand and relate with their chaos, but it doesn't become our chaos. Whereas a normal individual without that PTSD by history, without that, I think it's harder for them not to take on that person's stress and anxiety and pain, and then they get burnt out in this business. Whereas those of us in recovery, as long as you're working a good program, it's easy not to get burnt out, because we know it's not about us. We're simply a tool. I'm lucky enough to be the tool that you might be using to change your life. How freaking awesome is that? You have blessed me with the opportunity to become meaningful to a point that I can't thank you enough to making me in my life that meaningful to you. So that's the way I view helping other people. It's a blessing that you've asked me for help.
When it's something, I just had a conversation about a week ago. I went to sober living up in Ohio, and the owner asked me if I'd come sit in group with him. He said, "My guys in the house, man, they need a dose of gratitude. Will you come sit with me and let's just have a meeting?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And and one of my more recent kind of takeaways for where I'm today and where I'm at with my recovery is how truly grateful I am for all of that shit, all of that chaos, all of that mess. Yes, I drug a lot of people, through some really bad places, and I did a lot of really not great things. But every bit of that has helped me to be who I am today. And like you said, it gives me the opportunity to understand and relate, but not carry that burden, to be able to actually walk hand in hand with somebody through that burden and not get pulled back into it.
Yeah, good point. Kevin?
Well, you know what, Drain, and there's a lot of distractions around me, just so you guys are aware. On multiple different levels. So what I took away from what one of you were just saying was just I'll tell you what drains me is talking to other people about how busy or when do it's like, that's what drains me, is having these conversations about why I do this and why I do that, and more than anything else, these are the conversations that I dread,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a little lost right now because there's police and I don't know what's going on.
What is going on with Kevin? First of all, let me give you a little update, people.
Out on the couch live.
Kevin's Bike Week right now. And if you don't know what Bike Week is, just imagine
It's
every
insanity.
Harley Davidson in your town, every single motorcycle in your town, and every single motorcycle from out of town is all on one main street where he's located right now. And then they're all coming in and driving around. And it's not just Harleys anymore. I mean, for the last 15 years, we've seen a tremendous amount of crotch rockets, jump in. A lot of trikes now. You have different ethnic groups. So if you just think it's all old white guys and peers, no, there's an entire black groups of bikers. There's young bikers. There's the whole Latino crew is a big Latinos group of bikers that are out there. So that's what you're experiencing right now. These are the distractions you're talking about, Kevin, right? And then all the cops.
Yeah, like
just making sure everything's good.
Like literally just went by me like 4 motorcycles, but they were jet skis. Like so yeah, they were jet skis. So I don't know what kind of bike you're representing at that point. You're literally on a jet skis. So yeah, that's what I got going on right now. And I apologize. It's just it's a little overwhelming because I don't know. Last night I was out till like 3 o'clock in the morning, sober, So when you're out there sober, it's just weird, man. It's slow motion. There's so much emotion going on, like up and down, and I just think it's really fascinating that people are having fun. They think that they're having a good time in all this, But I just think about like, how much do you remember from Bike Week 2021? Like. What do you, I don't know, but
well, in fairness to some of them are having fun.
They're having fun at the moment. I just, the next day, I just think about like, I don't know, but that was the point, I guess. It's like people that gamble, they go to the casino, they know they're likely going to lose, so they just go anyways, right? But they love whatever they're doing. So I don't know. It's an interesting place, though, and I'm glad. It's been a bucket list thing of mine. It's something you always think about or hear about throughout your life.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this your first bike experience?
Dude, and I did not know this was happening down here until about a week ago. Yeah, so, and I didn't know where my hotel was until yesterday, that it was
you didn't know it was
next
right
to Main
there?
Street where everything goes down. No. So you can't sleep until you're like just so tired because the parking garage just sounds like a giant exhaust pipe. And that echoes. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. So
I love it. So those of you who don't know, Kevin, besides being in recovery, Kevin, besides being from Connecticut, Kevin, besides being an interventionist with LIFTT Confidential, well, what's that have to do with it? He's also this guy that goes out to chaos up there in Connecticut and records it. Like I see that Perry's saying, get the camera, because Perry knows what you do that's really why you're there. So you want to go ahead and promote. There you go. Go ahead and promote what you do to the people that are watching and listening.
Oh yeah. So check out On Scene Media, New Haven County. This is a business that's come about now by accident because of COVID-19 and Lulls, right? And Lulls. So now I'm out there. We are considered a reliable news source, right? A reliable news source, which is just
you are
blows
a good
my
news
mind
source.
because we're just an amateur.
Those are the best news
we
coverage.
provide great information.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
just fascinating to me.
All the news coverage we got of over there on the West Coast and all the riots and everything like that came from people just like you that were out there getting the real information. Right. If we wait for MSNBC and CNN and nightly news and Fox to tell us what all the news is, it's all biased bullshit. No, you're getting the real stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, So my car is linked up with a bunch of police radios, and I can hear dispatch. And sometimes I get to people being shot before the police do.
That's funny.
I almost got shot one night. A bullet went right over my car, and I watched a female get shot twice in the stomach, and it just was chaos. But people love this stuff. I don't know why. I post positive things on the page too, and nobody cares. But
nobody cares, man.
I don't know. So there's an advertising piece, right? Because we have such a following, it causes there's such a high demand for the work that we're doing. I had to find ways to make money for us, because we literally will spend 8-12 hours at some nights and days. So the advertising side of it and the opportunities there are just something I was never aware of until recently. Really good at. We can give an injury law attorney a real life commercial, and that's what we do. And you really can't get that, So
exactly.
That's what I do. Check out the page on C Media New Haven County. I just started the TikTok. I got a dope video with a bike last night. Guy let me film the whole thing, and just some other chaos. I got to wear a bulletproof vest out there. I've been threatened by gang members, and it's pretty wild. But overall, we've found ourselves in a nice little spot doing that work just for today,
See, this is why I can enjoy no chaos, because I could just watch you within the chaos. So I could dip in and dip out, right, Rex?
Yeah. Vicariously through Kevin.
Yeah, let Kevin enjoy all the chaos.
Check out the Facebook page.
Yeah, check it. Now, somebody else put something serious on Facebook Live there, Trinity. What was that? Something about somebody that she knew was overdosing.
It was Tina. Let me put her question. She said it was Tina Wines, and she said, my daughter is in rehab now for the 8th time. Addiction to heroin and fentanyl. Overdosed 4 times.
Yeah. Tina, what I would say is I would get in touch with Rex right there. Rex could probably help you out with your family. Rex, can you go ahead and give your information so that Tina may be able to follow up with you and maybe get some help for her daughter?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that easiest to go ahead and do online or
whatever?
However,
how's that?
Put it in. Yeah, put it in the comments. Yeah, put it in the comments right there so she can read it, and you can say it at the same time if you want.
Yeah. Like I say, my name is Rex Taylor. I work for Lakeview Health here in Jacksonville, Florida. Email is rtaylor@lakeviewhealth.com. And best number to get in contact is 904-755-4997. And I'll go ahead and post that in the comments as well.
Right. Thank you. And thank you for bringing that up, Tina. At the end of the day, we laugh and joke and we talk about all different kinds of things. But at the end of the day, Tina, this is about you for real. This is about families like yours that are currently in that chaos, because it is chaotic. It's a problem. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It starts looking like this is never going to get better. Nothing's ever going to be the same again. Will she ever get better? Will he ever get better? Will our life ever be normal again? Oh my God, what's going to happen? And there's a lot of that. But what you see here, 3 out of the 4 of us you see right here were in that situation. And our families were probably thinking the same things that you're probably thinking. So at the end of the day, all I can tell you is keep having hope, keep whatever faith you have, keep it strong, and just know that it's very, very possible to get your loved one back. Our families did. And they didn't get them. They didn't get us back the way we were. They got us back so much better than we ever could be. The way we look at life, the way we embrace life, the way we honor ourselves and honor our family and our community. We're again, all four of us are servants to the community. We all serve the community in different ways, more than we serve ourselves. And so I hope that you contact Rex and get some help for your family. All right, so it was almost like a live read during a show. Right, it almost sounded like a commercial, but it wasn't. It's just the real deal. So Trinity, back to you. I want to go to you because you're the non-addict of the group, non-recovering addict of the group.
I'm the normie.
Yeah,
You're an
yeah. I don't know how
alien.
normie. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how normie you are, but
Yeah, I don't feel
we'll
normal,
go with
but
that.
normal subjective,
But
right?
right. So
I like it.
so Trinity, the chaos that you sought was, I'm going to behave like an asshole and be very anti-system, even though you're the A student, you're the guy that as a kid everyone should have thought, well, he's going to love the system, he's going to do everything the system, has, and he's going to do it to the letter. How does an A student then go out there and race the bikes, commit the crimes, and just be like, a big F you to the system, especially when you have a cop mom. You have you have a law enforcement officer mom. So how does that work?
Wow.
Well, I think I was just rebelling against the system. I didn't. I needed the chaos. I thought I needed the chaos to
Yeah.
thrive. Some of the stuff came a little too easy for me, like school and whatnot. It wasn't a challenge for me. I had a little bit of a rebellious streak in me to where, I just didn't like being told what to do. I was anti-authority, so whatever the authority told me to do, I was going to do the opposite of, just to show that I could do it. And the only reason why I got the good grades wasn't even that I valued school as much. A, it just came easy to me, and B, the system said at that time, because of my upbringing, that I was going to either be dead in jail or addicted to drugs. And so I was basically trying to prove them wrong and say, screw you, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And so I got good grades, and I still did all the illegal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
did it without putting that damn poison in you. Good for you, man. Kevin, there's a question for you from Perry. Can you put that question up, Trinity? The one from
Uh,
Perry?
So I
yeah.
can't see these things. I can't see anything like
Yeah,
that.
no
So,
worries.
oh, now I see.
It's on the Facebook feed. Kevin said, or Perry said, Kevin, are you still doing the family support system
Program.
Yeah. So I mean,
program?
yeah. So regardless, anybody that works with me or that hires me, that's like a 90-day process, contracted, right off the rip. Pretty much anytime I get involved with the family. Um, Probably what Perry's referring to is our free, right now, virtual family and parent support group that we've been doing about 8 years now, and it's self-ran. It's really good stuff. I put together basically what I call the LIFTT treatment guidelines, and this is specific to how you would participate in a loved one's treatment experience, and when to and when not to, and what to say and what not to say, and all that happy stuff. So, absolutely, we're still doing that. I'm trying to think. If you send me an email to kevin@liftconfidential.com, it's lift, like lift you up with 2 T's, and just get me your information. It's every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. Like I said, it's self-ran. I don't have to go anymore. I wanted it to be that way, just like other fellowships and stuff. And hopefully down the years, we'll have more of these groups. But like I said, it's virtual. You can tap in from anywhere. It's absolutely free. You don't have to be a client of mine or anything like that at any time. I encourage you to go check that out. So
Right on.
just send me an email or shoot me a message, and we'll get you linked up with that. But yeah, family's involvement and support is important, but there's balance, and there needs to be someone who you look to shine a light on that balance and support someone efficiently, because we see a lot of sabotage within the family and self-sabotage, and we don't even realize until a year later, or I pointed out to them, or maybe how things could have been different if
Right.
certain things happened. But yeah, we're still doing that. That's what LIFTT Confidential is. I mean, yes, we help people get into treatment and all that, but this is a long process. We play such a small role in it, and anytime there's family involvement, which usually is always the case, it's important that we all get on the same page, we work as a team, and we make decisions together throughout the process, And so educating the family is just comes with what I do, because it's just so important. Because my parents didn't have me or you guys around to talk to, and they just didn't know where to find them.
Right.
So it was always like Uncle Joe that would come and do my intervention, and it didn't work out. So, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, family. It's, leading individuals and families through transformations is what we do. So yeah.
Oh, that's lift. That's nice.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, D, for the kind words. D, it's great to hear that all is going well. D Hovis on Facebook Live. That's pretty awesome. Wish you nothing but the best. All right, so here's the other thing. All right, so Trinity and I talk about this a lot, and so one of my philosophies on just appreciating life comes from not expecting life to be a 10. I'm not. My drug of choice when I was out there was cocaine. So, anyone that's ever done cocaine knows that the whole idea is just constantly on, like to be on fire, on. Everything has to be exciting. Everything has to be some sort of ramp up. Coming down was not my scene. Being down mellow, that was not my scene. It was all about blah, 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 blah. And it was really hard initially to embrace life in its normal state. Because normally, like Trinity says all the time on Dharma time, pain is a part of life. Life sucks a lot. There's a lot of sucky parts to life. It's not always, this fun, exciting situation. That's real world. Wake up, kids. And so I struggled with that initially. But I think one of my greatest gifts to myself in this older self that I've given from my younger self was to kind of be satisfied with the 5 in life. I don't have to be the best looking. I don't have to be the strongest or the fastest or the smartest or anything. I'm cool with being average. I like life at a 5. And as long as I stay life at a 5, oh man, I am so good and gravy. I don't need anything higher than that. Well, wait, time out. The only thing that I have higher than that is my wife. My wife is definitely not a 5. But everything else is just, 5. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You guys can relate to that at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Rex.
I was gonna say, where I've gotten at this point, man, and what recovery in life today has given me is enough insight to stay the hell out of the mix, right? Because I can amp it up to a 10 real quick by putting my hands in it and trying to dictate it, direct it, and run the show. And when I stay back, it may, it appears at a 5, but ultimately the way I feel is, at that 10 because I'm so happy with just the way life is. But it's a matter of whether or not I'm going to screw it up that day and put my hands in it. And so
Exactly.
I do my damnedest to just, and something I talk to my wife about a lot. God love her and God bless her for having stuck with my crazy ass. But she's an amazing soul and she's very type A and plans for plans. And if I've learned anything is, 9 times out of 10, my plans don't end up the way that I planned them. But looking at where I've been and where I've come and the adversity that her and I have made it through is, no matter what we're up against, no matter what life throws at us, because you're absolutely right, Trinity, life's a bitch, right? It comes out of left field when we least expect it. But the thing I know and I trust in the faith that I have from the program I have today is that no matter what the outcome, no matter what the situation is, I'm always going to end up right where I'm supposed to be on the other side of it. And as long as I don't play with it too much, where I end up is going to be okay.
Right on. Thank you. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, again, like my jail, like really put me in my place. And I learned really quickly early on in my recovery process the last time, um, that like all that I have is the people that love me, my my inner circle and all that stuff. And when I realized that all these people that I thought that I needed to be a 10 for back then, even though I was living crazy, but that was the mentality, like you were saying, um, kind of slipped away, and it was more so, it became about me, right? So for me personally, I want to be a 10, but I want to be my 10. I want to be the content 10, because my 10 might be different than Vegas Joe's 10, or whoever. Um, but for me, I don't know. I don't know. I've just been able to really lock in the one day at a time thing, and that's helped with the outside pressures. I have a good understanding that, like, if I focus on something and maybe not to try and get that result today, I know that I'm going to get that result if I just keep chipping away at it. I've had too many experiences now that all these things that you hear in recovery are true. Like, they're just facts. The fake it till you make it. I mean, there's just so many different sayings that just really are true, but it takes time for us to see that. So I don't know. People, I think you just need to dig deep for self, and that's the battle, right? I watch people come into jail, and through this work, I watch people go into treatment with a certain kind of attitude,
Yeah.
and to me, that's where a lot of this, kind of comes back to, is that attitude. And I don't know, like I want to be my 10. That's, and I don't know. That's what I took from what you said, and
You
everybody
know what I like?
else. They weren't around when I was incarcerated. You know.
Yeah, no.
So,
You know what I like about what you share there, is that for so many people, I mean, our families that we talk to, and I'm sure you guys get the same phone calls. They'll be like, I just don't want him going to jail. You know what I mean? I got to try to keep him out of jail, try to keep him out of jail. And at least 3 times now, you've shared that you found yourself there. You know what I mean? That everything you have is built from that experience. And so I think it's important to know that
right.
although jail does come with a lot of complexities and pain, and I wish it upon nobody, there are those individuals, families, there are those individuals that jail was a rehabilitation place because it was the bottom that they chose it to be.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? A bottom is what you choose it to be. Not there's no definition of what bottom is or rock bottom or whatever people want to say. It's whatever you choose it to be at the time. I mean, we all get these little moments, these little, just like we have moments of a lapse of reason, we have these moments of clarity. And within those moments of clarity, we have this decision to make, and it's really hard to make the right one. But if you're around the right
Mm,
circumstances, people, or support, or guidance, we can sometimes latch onto that and it can become awesome. And I think that's what I hear with what you say, Kevin, is that you were able to take that moment of clarity and chaos for you, and instead of being a
right.
victim to the system or a victim to whatever was putting you there, that you did rehabilitate, and therefore that pause that you were forced to in your life, you've actually made that pause meaningful. And so thank you for sharing that. I think that's real important to highlight as well. So
Yeah. No.
Trinity, the
Of
five,
course.
the five lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to, for me anyways, acceptance, man. The thing that I've said a lot, especially during the spiritual teachings and whatnot, and that is happiness is so much closer to acceptance than it is to
Yeah.
pleasure. We
Right.
define oftentimes
Mm,
when we talk about happiness, we define it as pleasure, as this 10 like thing. And then the problem with that is no matter how good it is, it always ends. Everything is
Right.
impermanent, both good and bad. And so if your definition of happiness is this fleeting idea of a 10, then you're never really going to truly be happy because you're going to constantly be chasing this 10 and it's never going to be caught. And so for me, what I've had to learn, and it has come with inner peace, and that is acceptance, man. Accept it for what it is, where I'm at, and how impermanent it is. So if right now what I'm going through is a 10, great, that's awesome. I'm going to enjoy it while it's here. But I also realize that that 10 is going to come back down to a 5 or maybe even a 1 in the next 5 minutes. And when that
Yeah.
happens, I'm going to accept that as well. And just realize that it's not happening to me, it's just happening, and I'm experiencing it at the moment. It is what it is. That's what life is doing, and I'm just a passenger on this thing called life. I don't run shit.
Mm.
You know, and as I've gotten older, that's one of the hardest things I've had to learn is as domineering and as controlling as I have been in my life, and as large as I've had to learn, I don't run shit. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get in where I can fit in, but at the end of the day, I don't dictate to life what life does. Life does it, and so there will be moments of 10, there'll be moments of 0, there'll be moments of 5, and that's why I agree with you that 5 is a good place to be, because at any given moment it can go to either side, and that's kind of exciting in and of itself.
Yeah, and man, when you said I don't run shit, brother, I don't even run my own house.
Exactly.
Not for the lack of trying. I
Yeah.
try, but it's that trying that's invisible. You know what I mean? It's like you either do it or you don't. When I do, it's just like it just doesn't work
Yeah.
out. All right, Rex. Final words on no chaos, Rex. No chaos. Just whatever that means to you, whatever that says to you, whatever you want to say.
No chaos, man. You know what? Embrace life for what it is. Whether you're searching for recovery, you're blessed to be an alien like Trinity. You're like Louie and Kevin and I, and you've dealt this life of chaos. Embrace life. Enjoy the minutes that we have. Because if one of the biggest things that I've learned through this, and especially doing this work now, is we're not promised tomorrow. This could be over. This could be over in the next 5 minutes. So enjoy everything that you've got. Whether enjoy the chaos, enjoy the peace, enjoy the lulls. Just enjoy life. Enjoy now.
Awesome. Thank you much, Rex. What about you, Kevin? No chaos.
Yeah, well, I think, like Rex said, embrace it, but capitalize on the lull. I think you take that time. That's the time between work and kids and friends and social and social media and everything else that you do. These lulls. That's the time that you can capitalize on rebuilding yourself. That's the time when you're going to be less distracted from other things you got going on. So just capitalize on the lull, I think, and just utilize that time to better yourself and but don't fold in the lull and don't break and just stay with it and know that in recovery this too shall pass, and it's going to. So don't react right away. Pause.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And so that's two of our friends right there. That's Rex and that's Kevin. What about Trinity, the Dharma guy? No chaos, Dharma guy.
Uh, yeah, just kind of reiterate what I was just saying, man, and that is just acceptance. I too tried to convince myself that I liked the chaos and I was good at it, and that's when I did my best work, kind of stuff. And all that means is that I responded well to it. That doesn't mean I actually liked to it. That just means I've learned over my years to evolve and adapt. Much like a frog adapts to the boiling water, that's not necessarily a good thing. And what I've learned over my years is situations where I don't have to adapt, that actually means it's a really good thing. It's good. It's cool. It fits within what I'm already doing. I don't have to adapt. And so I think that that's where the no chaos thing comes into play. Um, this idea that chaos is good, it's usually just a distraction. Um, and that's what we think is good because it distracts us from what we were kind of complacent doing. So I think it really just goes right back down to acceptance, man.
All right. Thank you very much, Trinity. Yeah, and I think I enjoyed a lot of the chaos also because since I felt pain, I wanted everyone else to feel pain. And the more chaos I created, the more pain there was around me. And so it was my way of causing pain upon you and getting some sick enjoyment out of it, unfortunately, at my most unhealthy state. Before I continue, I do want to say thank you, Dee. Thank you, Tina, and Tina and the other Tina and everybody else that's doing, communicating on Facebook Live. Continue to communicate, continue to share with each other, continue to connect with each other. Connecting with other people in these struggles or they can be supportive is always healthy. Thank you again to Rex from Stepping Stone and Lakeview Health. You can reach out to him at Lakeview Health, and he could help you out. He's putting his information here in the comments, so follow that. as needed. Same thing with our man Kevin Morse from LIFTT Confidential. Hopefully he puts his information right there in the comments as well, so you can reach out to him if you want to communicate more with him. Thank you very much, and have fun time at Bike Week. Continue to enjoy that. And as far as Trinity and I go,
Thank you.
I got one more thing on this chaos to say. Look, chaos is just another substance. Okay, to me, chaos is another substance, and the only reason it's enjoyable is because you're missing the meaning of the moment, right? So you have to embrace that chaos because you're missing all the real moments in your life. So you just embrace the chaos because that's the distraction that you chose, and but you're missing so much. And so when the chaos settles and you start embracing the moments that are really around you, the little stuff. And what I mean by the little stuff, I mean just if I just sit there in peace and just my kids are just next to me or my wife is just next to me, I don't need to be going out dancing. I don't need to be going out to a party. Just them in the room watching a movie or thing just feels so warm to me. And I mean, it feels really warm to me. And I really love those moments. And I'm glad they're sustainable type of moments because the chaos that I sought was just so not sustainable. It was just hard to keep it at the level of enjoyment. It was constantly crashing down, and I was constantly having to find something that could just pick it right back up. And I always felt like I was going to miss something if I would go home. I would miss something if I would close my eyes. I would miss something if I wouldn't go out. And I missed nothing. I've missed nothing since the day that I've made this choice and since I found the right people to be around me and love them, and they've loved me more than I could ever love them back, actually. So good luck with whatever you're doing. Remember, there's people out there that are willing to help you. We're here to help you. 833 Now Matters. If you need any help getting in touch with Rex or Kevin, you can call us and we'll get you in touch with them. 833 Now Matters. That's 833 Now Matters. Again, thank you to all of our guests. Thank you to all of our sponsors for our program. Other than that, adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.